guys, you're watching Divide by Zero Gaming. This is NS, I'm here with my buddy Hugh, and we are bringing you part 2 of the Junny vs TLO Best of 3 series. So, TLO did take the last game with some very good use of Infestors and some Mutas and just some overall good Zerg play that was very fun to watch. Go check that game out if you haven't seen it already. So this is game 2, Junny is behind by 1 game. We'll see if he manages to overcome that little deficit or if he does give up the series to TLO in a 2-0 shutout. We do have Junny here as the red Terran, his opponent TLO as the blue Zerg. Map is Steps of War, and I'm going to let Hugh say a few words here.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Hugh StarCraft, and this is on Steps of War. I don't know if you mentioned that, and maybe I just missed it, but very short rust distance. So we're gonna see if TLO goes for a fast expand, and if he's gonna be able to hold it on, because that is the big question at this point for a Zerg player, especially against a Terran. Even with that early harassment last game, he did manage to hold it off. But that was on a larger map, so we'll see if it turns out differently this time. This SCV is waiting. He is ready to build at any time, and bam, just drops that barracks like a champ.
I just have to say, I absolutely would have loved to see TLO go 6-pool in this game. This just would have been way too funny, but sadly he did not do that.
So we do have a spawning pool first, and here comes a little drone scout, not going for the super fast expansion. He did go, I think, 13 pool or 14 pool. And we're going to see when the timing of that expansion is, or if he's just going to play some one-base Zerg until he feels it necessary to expand. He did play a very macro-intensive game last time, so I would expect to see him try and grab that expansion pretty shortly. But again, it's just completely up to whatever happens this match.
Yeah, TLO's drone was trying to do a little bit of harassment there on the SCV that was building the barracks, but Junny wisely pulling another SCV over to help deal with that. Now he's going to put down the supply depot, so that drone's actually going to be shut in, and once a Marine spawns, he's going to have a very short life.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the gas steal, because that's just a pain to deal with, especially when whatever you... Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
It's very cute, TLO. Very cute.
That's just a pain to deal with because one Marine just can't do it.
Yeah, he is not a happy camper right now. His buddy's joining him though, so things are gonna get better.
Yeah, I think it can take 2 Marines shooting it. Once that 3rd Marine comes in, then he'll finally, I think, have to do something about it. But until he gets that 3rd one to attack, he actually
that other Marine is being pulled back because we do have 2 Zerglings at the door, and they're going to shoot down this reactor, and they're actually going to get it down. The reactor goes down.
They got it.
Does not manage to get the Zerglings inside the base, though. There were just not enough for the run by. That is still a huge play there. That is going to dramatically delay the time on the reactor. So TLO just pulling out all the stops this game. He's doing a great job with this.
Continuing going with that reactor, I don't agree with this at this point. I feel like that is just... He lost that timing. I mean... LiquidTLO is now going to have this expansion completely defended by the time those Hellions get there. We're probably going to see some Hellion play here. It's a very common thing to do. And this extractor is just still going up. So
and the one thing I do like is that TLO's Zergling is still there, so it's going to see this Hellion. The second comes out, he's going to know that's on the way, and he's going to be able to try to prepare for that. As you see, we already have a Queen there, and he is putting his Spine Crawler down, I do believe. Yeah, there the Spine Crawler goes. 2 Spine Crawlers, actually. So he is ready for this Hellion harassment to come in here.
Yeah, I definitely think this was a really smart play at this point. I mean, that extractor is still up. I mean, he is getting no gas at all. But yeah, he's throwing down this command center in the corner. I think he's going to go from Hellion harass into just dropping this command center. Where he drops it is going to be the question, but I mean, TLO at this point has a huge advantage, has time to get up these Spine Crawlers with no problem. The Queen is there to defend.
You actually have a trio of Hellions coming in there, so they're going to be able to do some damage if they can sneak past these defenses. This is actually a really interesting little predicament for Junny, because if he had gone in earlier, he only would have had the single Hellion, but on the flip side, he would have been able to get in well before the Spine Crawlers finished, so it kind of would have been a trade-off, and truthfully, I think it might have worked better for him if he could have just gotten in there with the single Hellion and done what he could.
Right. He had that, like, 2-second opportunity to get by those Spine Crawlers, because Spine Crawlers take ages to finish. So they were at like 99% done, and then they finished.
Killed them.
And then he had to run away, so it didn't really work out.
We do have some interesting building placement here by TLO. We've got a Roach Warren and an Evo Chamber going down in the low ground. So I guess he's just using that to try to make these Hellions' lives hard as possible. Oh, Junny just killed Panda Bear guy. He's screwed now.
Oh, you can't win now.
No.
Anyway,
as I was saying, interesting building placement, just going to block those Hellions as much as possible and reduce their harassment even more. And of course, again, the trade-off is that now that's going to be much more easily scouted than if TLO had put them back in his base. Junny now using some scans, taking out a decent number of creep chambers there, actually. Not a bad play by any means. But yeah, these Hellions just really are not going to be able to do a whole lot anymore with these spine crawlers, with these 2 queens, 2 spine crawlers, and the buildings placed as they are.
Right. These Hellions are doing pretty much what they're designed to do at this point, which is just delaying. They couldn't get harassment in, but they're there. TLO must know of their presence, and of course that the Overlord can see them. But he's just trying to buy time to get this expansion up before anything can come from TLO, get more Marines out.
We do actually have some Roaches moving out here to engage the Hellions, and Junny is wisely going to pull them all back, almost losing a Hellion there. Now he does have this Marina army coming in to deal with it, and it looks like he's going to be able to push this little attack force back here. But that is a good moment for TLO because he was able to break that little contain there that was set up with the Hellions, and he is going to be able to keep spreading out now, get map control, and even bothering to heal the damaged Roach with the transfusion from the Queen. There are little things like that that just separate the pros from me and Hugh.
Right. Well put. He does have that 3rd queen up for the Hellion harass, so he's going to wisely, again, use that energy. And if he can't use it for creep spread at the moment, then he's just going to transfuse. Oh, he's going to catch these Hellions running out. He snipes
Okay, how are you always behind me in the replay? Just every single time that happens. But yeah, these Roaches are going to come in here. They're going to take out a lot of Marines. We actually do have a Thor on the field, and TLO is going to decide to pull back here. There is a 2nd Thor. Truthfully, I think TLO could probably take this at the moment. He's got a fairly sizable Roach force.
I don't think he can with the SCVs repairing. I think if there was no SCVs, then maybe. Yeah. But I mean, the targeting system would have him normally just target the Thor, and he would get no progress done. But again, he's just moving. Oh, even bringing in 2 queens here. He's going to try and end it right now.
So he's charging in, snipes 1 Thor before the SCVs even get on. And he's just dishing out so much damage to these Roaches. The SCVs cannot keep up. These Hellions trying to do as much crossfire as possible, but they are just not able to do enough damage to these Roaches. Everything is dying. Another Thor coming in, dropping in mules even to... Actually, I guess that's just a miner, never mind. I thought I was going to try to repair. But he is now going to run in here, taking out the SCVs, and Junny calls the GG.
Right. I actually played mine on ×2 speed for the end there, just because I was sick of being behind, so I got to see the ending first.
Congratulations. I got to enjoy the game for longer. I got to savor it more.
True. But, I mean, just really commanding games there by TLO. He really knows how to play his Zerg. I mean, I was surprised that he was going into this as Zerg. I normally see him as just playing his normal standard Terran, but maybe he's made the switch to Zerg, watching the Banelings music video or something.
It's a deciding moment in his life was seeing that video.
Yeah, really good game there. LiquidTLO, for you who don't know, or just like completely oblivious, did win the series there with that game. I believe it was a best-of-3 series. We couldn't find any more replays, so I think we're just kind of
assuming it's a best-of-3. Yeah. If there are other games that we completely just missed in this series, feel free to tell us, and we will hunt down the replays and cast them. But pretty sure it was a best-of-3.
Right. Oh man, I don't really even have that much to say. That was just, it was just obliterated by these Roaches. It was a perfect timed Roach attack, really good. Came in with the queens to deal extra damage and transfuse. Look at these, neither have enough energy now to transfuse. He was transfusing every single Roach, and geez, I mean, even with the Thors, he caught them at a moment when the SCVs couldn't get to them, and just walked with this game.
I actually do want to mention one thing he did when he brought in the roaches. He brought them down to the command center a little bit and then doubled back to basically create a roach wall and try to separate the SCVs off from the Thors. So very good, clever little play there. Something that I think a lot of people wouldn't even think of, or just never occur to them to do that. But it did work out quite well for TLO in the end there.
Right. So good series there. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as we had fun casting. And stay tuned for some other casts that we could bring to you in the near future.
All right, we'll see you guys later.